Do you want to speak English fluently and confidently? Then this is the video that you must watch. Hey guys, it's Ellie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you like me and my videos, make sure that you're subscribed to me because I post every week, and also make sure that you're hitting the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. English is not our native tongue, and the thing is, the very first step that comes while learning to speak English fluently is accepting who you are. So basically you need to accept that you are an Indian or from any other nationality that is not natively American. And I know it's difficult if you have a bad accent, and honestly even I was a person who used to get very embarrassed of her accent. If you watch some videos of mine about 1 year ago, you'll see me trying to put on an accent that's clearly not mine, and honestly I've not removed those videos because I want people to learn from what I have been through. So basically I was very embarrassed that I have an Indian accent, and the thing is I wanted to have an American or British accent because that sounded better to me, and honestly I was embarrassed of my Indian accent. But eventually I learned that when Americans come to India and they speak Hindi, kuch is tarah se, we find that cute. Then why should we be embarrassed of our accent? And as soon as I realized that, I stopped trying to have an accent that is not mine. And the moment I accepted my nationality and started speaking English the way that I should, my English speaking skills improved, and ever since that I've always spoken English fluently and confidently whenever I need to. And this was the first step, to accept that your accent is never going to be the one that you see in English movies and sitcoms. The second tip will be to know your grammar. You cannot speak wrong English confidently. If you do, you sound very stupid. So the very first thing that you need to do here is to learn English properly. If you haven't learned it yet, please buy a book. It's called Renan Martin, and Renan Martin is probably the best book that you can get for learning English. It has amazing chapters for every part of speech, every type of sentences, and it will help you a lot to learn English properly. And once you have learnt English properly, you can go further and speak it properly. The third tip comes in the process of learning English itself, and it's watching English movies and sitcoms. And just as I said, you cannot speak like them ever, but the way they speak, the things they say, in a way it impacts on you and you get the syntax of the language. Accept that English is a very weird language. I am, he is, she is, but they are, we are. Why is every syntax different? There's no logic behind that, but you have to learn it. And when you watch sitcoms, you just get the hang of it easily, and then you can speak English very fluently because you already know how to speak. The fourth tip will be to read and speak. That is, speak while reading. So this will basically help you to speak English properly slowly, because I teach students and I make them read. So when they read for the first time, they speak really slow. But eventually they start speaking at a very fast pace, and this is what generally happens. You start slow, but you gradually pick it up and get brilliant or fluent at it. And this is very important, to read and speak. You can read the newspaper too. You can read a book too, but anyway you have to speak each and every word while you read it. The fifth tip will be to converse with a friend. The friend can be well trained in English, the friend cannot be well trained in English, but make sure that you are speaking good English. When you converse with a friend, you will get accustomed to the daily phrases that you might be needing while you speak English with other people, and that will automatically make you confident because you already know what you are talking about, right? The sixth tip will be thinking in English. Now you might be wondering, what is thinking in English? Basically it takes us a lot more time to speak English because we don't think in English. But how can we actually think in English? By writing. When you are writing something, you have to translate it first in your mind and then you can write it, right? So start writing in English. You can write anything. You can write a diary, you can write a story, you can write a poem. But make sure that you're writing, because when you're writing, you are thinking about the thing that you are about to write, and then you are thinking about it in English, and slowly you'll start thinking in English only, and that will improvise your English speaking skills by leaps and bounds. And this is the one step that marks a huge difference between a native English speaker and a non-native English speaker, because native English people think in English and that's why they are so fluent in English, but we don't. We just think in our mother tongue. But eventually, if you follow these steps, you'll start thinking in English, and once you think in English, you'll always speak in English too, and speak very fluently and confidently. Tip will be to install a language learning app. Some good apps are Fluently, Duolingo. You can learn English from these apps very easily, and there are revision exercises too, which prove to be very helpful. So make sure that you are installing these apps while you are learning the language. Also, do not forget that English learning is a never-ending process, and English speaking is definitely a never-ending process. You may need to form new sentences every day, you may need to know new things every day, and you may need to find new ways to put your thoughts into words properly. It's definitely a never-ending process, and it's okay if you get stuck while speaking English sometimes, but do not stop or do not speak wrong English, because that really proves to be very harmful when you are speaking at a very important place or to somebody who is very important, maybe as a business client, maybe as a teacher. So make sure that you're not speaking wrong English. Take your time while speaking English. Speak slow, but do not speak wrong English under any circumstance. And lastly, keep practicing, and I'll be back with another video next week. In case you want more videos like this where I share tips about speaking English and learning English, let me know in the comment section below, because I've been meaning to start this section because I've been getting quite a few requests about this. And in case you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.